Hey, what's up guys? Jason here with Mad Slaps. Coming at you today with a quick video about basically a DIY fix. If your skeleton arm breaks on one of your posable skeletons, what I had here was a break that happened a couple years ago, and then recently when I was trying to put this hazmat suit on this skeleton, he took a tumble toward me, came at me pretty hard actually, and broke the rest of his arm. The plastic came off. So what I'm going to do is, I've never done this before, so I'm kind of just making this up as I go along. But basically, to fix this, what I bought was today I bought kind of a fat bolt here, and of course a nut for the end. And I may or may not need these, but I did grab a couple washers for each side. As I'm looking how this fits, the bone fits in to the socket, the washers might not be so practical, at least on both sides. But I did pick up this nylon spacer that I'm going to probably put on there. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a two-part epoxy sculpt into here, mash down in here. I actually had to loosen the screw up right here, that screw, to get this open. But basically I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy sculpt, shove that in there, shove the bolt in there, maybe a little more epoxy sculpt, and let that sit overnight. So let's go ahead and give that a go. Here's the epoxy sculpt I'm going to be using. Take a little bit of, how much I got? I need a decent chunk, so I'm going to fill this up. So we'll do a little bit of that, and then you want to basically grab an equal size of each piece. Now, to be honest, I haven't used my epoxy sculpt in a while, so it might be a little tough getting some out. I just gotta kind of work it. Okay, probably a little bit more of this stuff. So you got about equal parts of each of the stuff. Mix that up. Alright, so I've got the epoxy sculpt mixed up, and I'm going to take the majority of it. I'm going to take about half of it, maybe a little less than half of it off the ball, and the rest of this ball I'm going to just I'm actually going to just shove down into the arm here, I think. Maybe less. Take a look, we'll see. Because, let's see. I want it to, basically, I want to get this in there. There we go. So that'll hold like that. And basically, what I need to do then is basically, I need to make sure this is even. That should be pretty even. Basically, the other stuff I'm going to put on the sides here. So give me a sec while I this might be, kind of work that all the way around there. And actually, the color of the skull almost like right now almost kind of blends in with the bone. I'm being honest, but once it dries, it won't exactly be that. But like I said, I have no idea if this is going to work at all. It's not tried in true testing. I'm just working off a theory here that this will work. Just hoping, and basically gonna pack a little bit more. I think this is gonna, I'm really hoping this works though. I think once this dries, it'll be nice. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect because this is going into the socket, so. And actually what I'll do, so I had recently loosened this up to get the bolt head in there. I'm gonna go ahead and use the screwdriver, tighten that back up. Yep. Cool. We're gonna keep that straight there. All right. So basically, yeah, I'm just working this. I think this will be fine, actually. I'm really hoping this. Yeah. Like I said, it's got this bolt going there. That's basically, I mean, certain angles this almost disappears already. But, and honestly, if you're really worried about it, I'm sure once this dries, a little light sanding, I'm sure can go a long way. But yeah, this should basically, yeah. I think I'm pretty much done with this step. It looks pretty straight. I think that'll go into the arm socket just fine. And maybe I'll just use a little bit of support actually on this other side here. Let's see. If I rub just a real thin. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Should be good. Real thin. Blend that around. This should hopefully, like I said, I've got enough on the back end there to really glue that in there. And then once this dries, this is nice and straight. So I'm thinking we're good for now. I'm gonna let this sit now. So I'll let this sit overnight, probably more like 24 hours. We'll see. I'll check on it tomorrow morning, and if it is ready, then we'll work with it. But if not, probably most likely in the afternoon. But I think this is gonna work totally fine. I'm hoping. Keep on this. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, guys, that's the first step. And like I said, I think this is simple enough that it will work. So, we'll leave that sitting there like that. And we'll come back to that later. Okay, now that the epoxy sculpt has had a chance to dry, solidify, it's going to do a quick, this is not necessary, this is just me being overkill. I was going to see if I could sand that down a little bit. Probably not going to matter at all, because again, this part is going to be in the socket, so it's not going to matter. It's just me being Captain Overkill. So I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of sandpaper. Just some extra stuff I had lying around. It actually would probably work better if I had a higher grit maybe, but actually maybe not. It seems to be doing a pretty good job of smoothing out the edge there. So that's what I'm going to do. And then, yeah, so I'm going to do some sanding here. And when that's done, to further my overkill, I'm actually hit that with a little bit of spray paint. So we'll come back to that. Alright, so now that paint is dried and it looks good. It looks good enough. We got the putty is definitely dried all the way. So what we're gonna do is I got a little spacer washer and then actual washer as well as a nut. And I'm gonna pop this to there, this on there. And there we have it. I mean, his arm does come in a little closer. Before, that's fine. That's, I'd say overall pretty successful. So that is how I went about fixing fixing a skeleton arm. Now, I'm by no means a professional at this. This was just something I threw together. I've never done this before, but the concept seemed pretty simple. And it does the job. It holds my arm back on, and I'll be able to use my skeleton out my haunch. Basically, probably if I want to keep his arm up, I'll probably have to grab something like a wrench or something like that, tighten it. But yeah, but overall, cool. All right, guys. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, feel free to smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And as usual, this has been Jason with Mad Slaps.
Big boy. Meow.